Well, if you're about to sell your house, you've probably already researched ways, or at least tried to, figure out how much your home might be worth. Well, there's a lot of factors here, and that's what this video is all about. Today, we are determining your home's value in today's market. So let's get started. Hi there, and thank you for watching this video. My name is Matt Moore. I'm a real estate agent in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, as part of Keller Williams, and I've got a couple of tips here for you. If you're looking to determine what your home might be worth, of course, in today's day and age. It being 2020 now, it's still a red-hot market really all over the country, and especially here in South Central PA. I tell you what, homes are not lasting very long on the market at all. Couple of days on the market is pretty common for homes that are priced right. And if you are looking for an idea of maybe what your home is worth, perhaps you've already seen the Z estimate or the Zillow estimate as it's called, or maybe Trulia or Realtor.com is giving you an idea of what your home might be worth. And I caution you on those things because their algorithms might be a little bit faulty depending on the situation that your house might be in. So we're going to go through some ideas here. But before we get started, I just want to talk quickly about my social channels. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. That's at Matt Moore Homes. And you can also, of course, subscribe to my YouTube channel. I hope to see you there. I've got a lot of great content coming on all of the platforms. And of course, you can visit my website, mattmorehomes.com. I've got a lot more information for both home buyers and sellers. And you can see some more blog post content. And of course, you can reach out to me as well. Here's some of my contact information. Would love to talk to you. Even if you're not in this area, I can help you find a realtor in your area to help you buy or sell your house. And again, we're talking about selling the house, how to figure out that market and figure out how much your home might be worth. Let's talk about the very first thing, and that is location, location, location. Well, it's a really important factor, and it's not just an important factor for just really anything in general, but it's really an important factor for appraisers. They are going to be looking at that location, and primarily three different things that are going to be factored in when it comes to your location. So again, the quality of the schools, the employment opportunities within that area, and also the proximity to entertainment, to grocery stores, to livability, or things that are recreation, or things that you might be wanting to do, are all going to factor. If you live in an area that is close to all of the major shopping centers, that's close to big-time recreation areas, and that has a really good school district that you're in, well, you're probably going to see the value of your home going up, all else being equal. So again, location is really, really important when it comes to the value of your house. And it kind of brings me to a different point, a segue here. There are times when you're looking at homes or things that homes in certain areas that might be similar to yours to try and figure out what the value might be. Well, you might be finding that in some neighborhoods, all of the homes are pretty much the same, or at least have the similar models that are found in that neighborhood, but one side of the neighborhood is totally different than another side. It is not uncommon to have a neighborhood that maybe splits school districts, or splits townships, or splits tax rates, zip codes, all those kinds of things, and all of those things can factor in to when it comes to the value of your house overall. Good school district, the house might go a little bit higher in terms of price versus a school district that's a little bit lower. Same with the tax rates and things like that. So you want to keep that in mind when looking at those neighborhoods and looking at those homes or the prices of homes that have sold, and noticing that there might be some discrepancies there. All right, the very next point that helps you determine what your home's value is actually look at the size of your home. Talking about square footage here of livable space. Really important, livable space. That's what appraisers are going to be looking for when assessing the value of your house. So let's say you have 3,000 square feet of space in your house, but let's say that 1,000 square feet of that is an unfinished basement. You cannot count that 1,000 feet towards the total square footage of your house because it's not livable space. That unfinished basement, not considered livable space. And same thing with a garage. If you have a couple square foot garage, you cannot count that towards the livable space in the house. So in order to find the price per square foot, you're going to take the amount of livable space and then divide that number into the total sales price of the house, and that's going to give you the price per square foot. Again, it's the price per square foot of livable space in your home. Now, $100 per square foot might be considered expensive in some markets. It might be considered cheap in others. It really just depends on where you are in your location. So in order to basically identify what might be a good price per square foot for you, the best thing that you can do is actually to contact a real estate agent and perform what's called a comparative market analysis, or CMA. Those types of things can really identify what is a good price per square foot for a similar home in a similar area as yours, and identify where you stack up in that. And of course, we are also talking about bedrooms and bathrooms. Those are important factors too. Number of beds, number of baths. The more that they are, generally speaking, the higher the value of your house. All right, let's talk about that neighborhood and comparable homes. We just kind of touched on it a little bit with the CMA. But when it comes to comparables or comps, it's really important that whatever's going on otherwise in your neighborhood is going to influence what happens at your house. So if a house down the street sells for a certain price within the last couple of months of you, or even better, the last couple of weeks or couple of days, well, that could affect how you price your home, or at least what you might be able to get for your home. Market value and market price are two different things. What you think your home is worth and what the actual market price is set for might also be two different things. So you just have to make sure that, again, you're working with that real estate professional to identify what your home might be worth based on those comparables or comps in that neighborhood. So let's say your home is 4 bedrooms. There's also a home down the street that's 4 bedrooms that just sold, 3 baths, similar amounts of bathrooms, similar upgrades, and similar lot size and similar condition too. So all of those factors in, you can probably take your home and price it similar to whatever that home sold for, at least, or get an idea of what the market price might be. Depending on your strategy, you might want to list it for a different price than that. And again, I always say it, real estate agent, really good idea to get involved at this point and to talk with them and figure out a way to get it listed. And it's better for just you in general. It saves you a ton of time, and it brings that marketing component to your home when it comes to sell that really is second to none. So again, if that's you and you're about to sell your house in the South Central Pennsylvania area, I would love to talk to you about getting your home on the market and getting it sold for the right price. So just reach out to me. I would love, again, to talk to you. All right, let's talk about the next point, and it's kind of similar to the one before. We touched on it a little bit, and that is what's going on in your neighborhood, and specifically comparable homes that we can use to identify what your home might be worth. So that's one thing that a real estate agent is going to provide for you for a service is called a CMA, that comparative market analysis that we just talked about. And it's in that CMA where there will be comparisons done to homes that are recently sold that are similar to yours, maybe in square footage, bedroom and bathroom, upgrades and features. But not every comp or not every comparable is going to equal what your home is. Your home is uniquely yours, and maybe you've done some things inside your home that need some adjustments in terms of comparing them to other homes. Maybe you've added on, or maybe you've added hardwood flooring, or maybe you've added a granite countertop compared to this other house that doesn't have it. So those types of things are going to need adjustments, and that's what, again, your real estate professional and real estate agent is going to do, is take a look at those things, make those adjustments as needed, and arrive to a selling price or a market price, what they think your home will sell for, and it give you a good idea of what it might be worth. Now, what you list it for, that's between you and your real estate agent, and that's something that you guys need to talk about in terms of strategy. But again, your real estate agent is going to provide you the best information regarding what to list it at and what it most likely will sell at. Another important factor in figuring out the value of your home is to actually look at the age of your home and the condition too. Older homes, generally speaking, tend to sell for a little bit less than, say, newer homes might be. And if you go down that line of logic, it makes sense. If you have a newer home with newer appliances, a new roof, newer structure, it's less likely to have issues, at least immediately, than, say, an older home might be. Typically speaking, on average, a new roof could cost you $8,000, and if that expense is going to be passed along to a future home buyer and it's going to be a short-term expense for them, well, that's going to affect the value of your house, because that buyer knows that they're going to have to put a new roof on it within the next year or two or less, and that's going to be $8,000 out of their pocket or more. Sometimes it's tens of thousands of dollars, so it can add up. So newer homes, again, are going to be priced a little bit higher than, say, older homes are, because of the fact of just it being new. Now, that's not to say that, all else being equal, a 100-year-old home is going to be priced less than a 5-year-old home. That's not the same, because let's say that the conditions in the 5-year-old home are deteriorated, and I have seen homes that are less than 5 years old that are just trashed. 100-year-old home, I've seen homes that are just immaculate and beautiful, all the upgrades and everything. So again, not every situation is the same. There's some give and take there. Not always is a newer home going to be worth more than an older home. All right, when it comes to the value of your house, believe it or not, there's some outside factors that have nothing to do with your house at all, and that is interest rates. When interest rates are low, buyers want to buy a house, right? They want to lock in that deal. And when the interest rates dip, there becomes a lot of buyers out there. Well, if there's not a lot of inventory, if there's not a lot of sellers, it becomes a seller's market. And that can increase the value of your home, and not only increase the value, but also give you some better offers. Sometimes you'll get offers that come to the table all cash, no contingencies or very little in the way of contingencies, better financing options. All of those kinds of things are going to start falling into your lap more than if we flipped the table and say there's a lot more houses for sale than there are buyers, and then it becomes advantage buyer. So again, it's the interest rates. As long as they stay low, there's going to be a continuous stream of buyers in your area, again, as long as the economy is healthy in that local market, and you're going to be seeing that interest rates drive the value of your house up and down. As interest rates are going to start to rise, you're going to start to see home values coming back down a little bit more. All right, let's talk about upgrades. It's really important. If you have an upgraded bathroom, let's say you've put in a lot of marble in places, or maybe you have a bigger shower, a walk-in shower, or maybe just a bigger bathroom in general, or maybe even a bigger kitchen, things like that. Any upgrades that you might have to your home that might be different than the home down the street, the comparable that we were talking about, that's going to raise the price of your home. Comparatively, if your home doesn't have a lot of upgrades, but the home that just sold down the street does, well, you might be thinking to put your house a little bit lower. You can do a number of ways. You can research the recently solds in your area. Zillow, by the way, believe it or not, is actually a really great resource. You can just do, instead of the for sale, search for recently sold and then trim your time in terms of that time frame you're looking. You can find comparable homes and kind of do a little bit of homework yourself. But the best thing to do is to find that real estate agent, connect with them, because they're going to be able to know and look at that and be like, hey, fireplaces in this area usually add a couple grand, or usually add $5,000 onto the value of a home, or whatever it might be. That's your real estate agent's job, and that's what they're going to do to help you identify at what price you should be listing your home at. And finally, my last point, and this is something that we kind of touched on a little bit. Your local market is going to dictate everything. The market here in Lancaster, Pennsylvania is different than elsewhere, of course. I mean, it's different than New York City. It's different than Los Angeles, California. It's different pretty much in every other market. So your market is a big driver, probably one of the most important drivers in terms of what the value of your home is going to be. Now, let's talk about that supply and demand. Again, we touched on it a little bit, but let's say there's a major storm, right? We're going to use a different example here. Major storm, whether it's a winter storm, hurricane, whatever, and the supply of gasoline goes down. Well, guess what the prices are going to do? They're going to start to come up, and that's because more people want it, and there's less of it, or there's only a certain quantity of it. So because of that, the prices are going to go up, up, up. The same thing happens with houses. You have a lot of buyers, but not a lot of sellers, and guess what? The home prices are going to go up, up, up. Even the ones that need a lot of work are going to raise in price because there's just so many buyers out there that the sellers are selling their homes for more money and in less time. Now, you flip that around, and it becomes more of a struggle to sell your home because there's so many homes on the market for very little buyers, and it allows the opportunity, and really the finest and best are selling first. The rest of them are struggling to sell. So it's really important, depending on your price range, to identify, is it a hot market? Is it a cold market for sellers? Is it a hot market for buyers? Is it all those kinds of factors are really important, and they're all going to be something that you want to talk to your real estate agent about and identify those factors for your home. Again, that CMA, it's going to be one of the indications of where your home stands in today's market and in your local market. So again, I encourage you to reach out to a real estate professional. If that's you in South Central Pennsylvania, including around Lancaster County, I'd love to talk to you. Give me a call, 443-945-3953. You can also email me, matt@mattmorehomes.com. Just go to my website too. You can reach out through a contact form. mattmorehomes.com is the website there. And of course, that was all of the tips. I really hope those kinds of things, the kind of information helped you out. You can use the Zillows, but use them carefully. Watch what you're doing with the Z estimates and the Trulia estimates for what the value of your home is. And that's my only nugget of little extra advice outside of this video. So again, I hope this video was helpful for you, and I hope you were able to answer some of those questions in order to determine the value of your home. I again recommend getting that real estate professional involved to help sell your house. Until then, guys, thank you so much for watching. I'm going to put my social channels here on the bottom. Hope you follow me there. and there's more videos to come. I can't wait to share them with you. Some really good stuff on the way. Until then, guys, hope you have a wonderful day, and thanks for watching.